Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode on Single Guys Can Cook channel. Today I will not be doing a recipe but a product review of the blender you see before you now. I want to apologize first and foremost for my voice. I am getting over a little bit of a sore throat. So I'm sorry you'll have to put up with this, but this is also why I wanted to do a product review instead. Don't have the energy necessarily to go through a recipe. So today we are reviewing the Oster All Blend All Metal Dry 14 blender. This is a 14 speed blender. Comes in with a 6-cup pitcher. 14 speed. It has these 7 settings you see here, and then basically at the bottom you see the low and the high drive option for the motor. So that basically gives you your 14 speed settings. This looks like a nice glass pitcher, nice and sturdy. Pretty good quality. Basic lid comes complete with this little attachment at the top so that you can go ahead and add items in as you're blending. Maybe you want to wait for a certain creaminess before you add something else that you don't necessarily want pureed as much, just to give your sauce a little bit more of a texture, kind of make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, you do have that option. And yeah, this is a 14 speed. It is assembled in Mexico. Looks like. Oh, sorry, that's upside down. Looks like it is assembled in Mexico. Most likely parts made in China. Yeah, 450 watts maximum. So for my test today, I wanted to kind of put it to the test it with what might be the hardest, which would be blending ice. As you can see, the ice crushing is the last of the settings. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I will be testing, first of all, I will be testing with some regular size ice cubes. So we're going to do maybe 2 cups of ice cubes and see how that goes. Oh, well, that's more than two cups, but we see a lot of empty space there. We see how the blade comes in contact with the, just barely comes in contact with the pieces. So I wanted to give it a try without any liquid and see how that does. Of course, it must be plugged in to operate. And we're going to go ahead and start on the low setting. Let's see what happens. So it is a so the ice has kind of blocked our visibility. So let's go ahead and open it up, and wow, it looks to be actually crushed pretty well. Before we go any further, I'm actually very interested in seeing how this came up by pouring it out. Let me get a bowl. See how this there's one whole ice cube. But other than that, it looked like it did pretty well. That was on the low setting, and just pulsed for a couple of seconds, as you saw there. Mostly crushed ice. We have one medium-sized cube, and that was with no liquid whatsoever. I'm actually very impressed with this blender. Let's see how it does. I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in. Let's see how it does with a little bit of a bigger cube. See how the blade's down there. Try it with some bigger cubes, and I'm gonna throw in some water in there too. So these ice cubes are normally what I use for cocktails, a little bit thicker. Let's do about 4 in there. Actually, let's go for another 5. This being the thicker glass, I want to go ahead and I did about half a glass of this for water. Most likely you will not be blending with just ice and no liquid. If so, I think most bars would recommend crushing, getting a bag, and actually smashing your ice manually. Kind of gives you a little bit more control. And but yeah, before we let this melt too much, let's see how this does. That was just cold water. It was not hot by any means. And let's start with pulsing. It's a little difficult here. I think I might need to hold it down. Okay, it seems like the ice cubes kind of froze out of reach of. Oh, there we go. Oh, maybe the water was a bad idea. What's creating is a little bit too much mush, and those are. Sorry again for the sniffles. Again, I'm glad to say I am getting over it, so I'm kind of on the tail end of my cold or sore throat. But I guess that's why we got this thing too as well, right? At the top. Let's see. This is my muddler here. Push this down. Let's give it a shot. So the pulsing feature, it does not stay down. Most likely to protect your motor. Leaving your motor running at a high speed is more likely to burn out the motor itself. So this is just a pulse. Okay, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down, just so I can have 2 hands and kind of push the ice down and see how that goes. If I can angle this in a practical way so that you guys can still get a good view of this. All right, let's see how this goes. Well, I think that's as good as we're going to get. As good as we're going to get with this blending. But actually, let's pour it out and see how it looked. So it is mostly crushed. There's a couple of pieces in there that are still big, but overall I'm impressed with the bigger ice cube. Again, most likely you're kind of putting it to the max with test, considering again you probably should not be just crushing ice in your blender. The recommended way most bars crush their ice is by hand. They have an ice bag and just kind of beat it with a mallet. But yeah, that's about all I had planned for this for this review, this product review. Would I use it to replace my blender? No. For those of you that aren't familiar with my equipment or follow my channel, this is typically the blender that I use. So this one here has the blades that go from top to bottom, so it kind of eliminates the what was happening here with the ice being away from the bottom of the blades. But overall, it's a nice quality blender. If you're interested in getting it, getting one of these, I saw it posted on Amazon for, let me double check, $47.47. So that is the Oster 6803 core 14 speed blender. Overall on Amazon, it has about 3.5 stars actually. So again, like I said, I wouldn't replace my blender with it, but if you're looking for just something to kind of not professional kitchen quality, here's kind of a rundown of what we see on the Amazon. Let's see some of the reviews, some of the comments. Actually, one of them says it's not sold in. Well, they're actually asking about the voltage. Some say it's a really good value. Again, for $50, it seems to do okay. If it's something you use every single day, a blender, if you're doing a lot of frozen smoothies, I would recommend investing in something better. But if it's something you only use a couple times a week, not really putting it to a harsh test like I did with the ice, then yes, I would look at investing in something better. One of these comments seems it appears defective, noisy, not stable at all. Interesting. When you turn it on, it starts to vibrate, moving around. I think that kind of happens in general with blenders. I don't know who was that. Sophia L. Huh. She may not use blenders a whole lot. I'm not kind of sure. I have used the Vitamix before. Those are really good, but again, that's about 4 times the cost of this. So that one does stay in its place. It blends very nicely, but again, it's what you're paying for. Here's one review. Works perfectly for making healthy drinks out of fruits, baby spinach, carrots. I think it is not necessary to spend any more on those ultra expensive machines that do the same thing. So again, this is somebody who isn't putting it to much of a harsh test. Fruits, baby spinach, carrots tend to be pretty soft vegetables. But yeah, it all depends what you're looking for. Yeah, would I buy it? No. Would I buy it for somebody? Probably not even that. But if you're just looking for a quick fix, something to fill in while you save up to for a more high-end blender, it should get the job done. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of any of my products you'd like me to review. If you're a supplier out there, feel free to send me any products you might have, and yeah, we'll see. Can kind of give it a review and see what works. Next episode, I'm thinking about going through the use of a nice tabletop toaster. So I mainly use it to toast bread. I mean, it's a toaster, but it is really a toaster oven. So maybe want to expand on seeing how well this would work if we use it for its oven. It's more of an oven than a toaster. So maybe in about 2 weeks. Next week I'm thinking I will do another recipe, but in 2 weeks planning on doing another product review of the Black & Decker toaster oven. Any recipes in particular you guys would like me to experiment with, or yeah, just let me know in the comments. And if you like the video, if you'd like to see me do more of this, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. It's yeah, to the channel, and I want to thank everybody for supporting me. And again, I apologize for the voice, and thank you for putting up with it and watching it all the way through if you have. Alright, well, you guys have a good night, and may you eat healthy. Good night.